And Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. The Utah Jazz come into this one after the win against the Pistons in Detroit. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all theirs. Once they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
I mean, no stress in that one. The game almost looked like a shoot-around for them. I mean, amazing at how well they shot the basketball.
And even more impressive, Greg, considering it was on the road. I mean, it's rare that you see a team get that hot away from home.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Utah. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. Favors is out there with Booker, and it's Hayward in at the 3. So it's Philadelphia now. Derek Favors unable to get his shot to go. And here's Iverson outside. Booker pulls it in. Looking at Philadelphia, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, major problems at the charity stripe in that game. They just could not convert their free throws.
And that makes it hard to win, especially on the road. You get a chorus of about 20,000 yelling at you every time you put one off the rim. Boy, that's got to wear on you.
Now here's Noel. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Boston.
And then how about the block shots, guys? I mean, just overpowering on the defensive side. Really, he was the intimidator. And great effort on the boards, and what a mean that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Well, the Jazz look like the team we're used to seeing for so long last year. A big part of that was how they dictated the pace, Greg, of the game.
Very good point. I mean, the Jazz did a great job of slowing things down and avoiding turning things into a track meet, just focusing on playing to their strengths.
Jazz have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Hayward goes in. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. On the wing, Iverson pulls it up. Booker pulls it in.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 fall.
The tray. The shot misses. And Philadelphia the other way now. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
Yeah, and a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
You know, Greg, those were games where you thought they could get a win. But now they need to forget about it. It's in the past, let it go, and they've got to focus on the present and try to make a better run of it this time.
Here is Favors. The 76ers getting the bucket. Here's the screen. Hayward passes to Booker. Down low, Hayward kicks to Burks. Nice ball movement by Utah. Just 3 to shoot. Hayward can't hit. Philadelphia's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Iverson outside. Out to the right wing. Passes it to Okafor. Iverson left side. It's tipped. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Burks dishes to Favors. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Quinn Snyder. Doris, what do you have to say?
Kevin, on paper, it's hard to pick a winner in this game based solely on the two teams' statistics and records, which coach acknowledged are very comparable. Therefore, he said, it comes down to energy and effort. We'll see how this one goes.
All right, Doris, a hard game to predict, isn't it, guys?
It really is. On paper, just impossible to separate these two teams, and that should make for a hotly contested battle.
Boy, that's what it looks like to me as well. I mean, I certainly would not want to have to make a call as to what's going to happen or who's going to come out on top in this one.
The 76ers didn't lie to themselves about last season, Greg. They knew they weren't going to be in the playoffs. They spent a lot of time last season developing their young players.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, the third straight year the Sixers would miss the playoffs. But as you said, Kevin, they knew what the season had in store. The key was, could they keep those young guys focused on growth and experience and not get caught up in the fact that they struggle to win games.
Good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Jazz have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Burke with it, coming off a stellar performance against Detroit. Here's Booker. The shot goes in, first of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
And it's clear for the Sixers, the plan has been to continue to add good young players. Eventually, I think they'll be a force in the East. There's no guarantee, but they've got a plan, and they're sticking to it.
Now here's Iverson. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Boston.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
A different look for Utah. Rudy Gobert comes in for Trevor Booker, and it's Joe Ingles in for Burks.
A lot of teams that win a title often have a former #1 pick leading the way, or at least a top 3 NBA draft pick as their leader. So the 76ers are trying a shotgun approach to that, trying to get as many top 3 picks as they can, hoping one turns into the next superstar.
2 years ago, Utah drafted Trey Burke to be their point guard of the future. Then last year, they drafted Dante Exum. It set up quite a competition between those two.
Getting back to the Burke-Exum rivalry last year, both young men showed some tremendous promise, yet both shot under 37% from the field. Greg, that's got to improve.
And it will. I mean, last season was tough for both guys in terms of getting used to a certain role. But remember also, when you come into this league, a league of men, and you're that young and you haven't matured, it's going to take you maybe 2 or 3 years before you can find that consistency. And then also factor in both were getting yanked in and out of the lineup. Tough challenge for those young players as they dealt with the ebbs and flow of their confidence.
Just cannot find the rhythm. Still yet to hit a shot this quarter.
Ingles kicks to Gobert. The pass to Hayward. The tray. That's good. Hayward's got his second basket of the night.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Iverson kicks to Noel. In the corner, Cannon with it. Here's Grant, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Jazz leading by 3. Now the feed to Favors. There's the pick. He dishes it to Hayward. Favors with a screen on Thompson. Hayward goes in. Here's Favors. Can't hit from in close.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Thompson right side. Screen by Grant. And here's Iverson outside. But they'll get another chance. Not his night so far. That's miss number 5 with no makes.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Here's Ingles. Iverson covering. Gobert can't hit. The 76ers trail by 3. Kicks to Iverson. Fires from the wing. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
Feeds it to Gobert. Jazz passing it around. Here's Favors. Another miss by Utah.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
There's a screen by Noel. Iverson right side. Shot off the pick. Utah with the rebound. Favors has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Burke kicks to Favors. Hayward on the wing. Outside Favors. Over to the wing. And so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The 76ers trail by 3. 1:57 left to play in the first. Cannon kicks to Thompson. Screen by Grant. Thompson passes to Stauskas. 6 on the shot clock. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
The 76ers have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
Jakar Sampson's checked in for Thompson. And both free throws good for Stauskas. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Here's Cannon looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Sampson, and he's way off from outside. Utah leading. 1:14 left to play here in the first. There's the screen. Nato. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
Oh, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide open shot like that right in your wheelhouse.
Grant, right side. Here's Cannon. Grant kicks to Sampson for 3. Stauskas, and that one's good. Stauskas has got 5 now.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Pass to Withy, and the layup is good. Hood's got the game tied up here for the Jazz.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Holmes passes to Stauskas. There's the dish to Cannon. A three-pointer off the mark.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
It's all tied in Philadelphia. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.